Welcome back, everybody, to the Itch to Fish podcast. This is Travis with the Itch to Fish, coming at you live with our newest podcast. Thank you so much for being patient with us. I know we said we'd get something out every single week here going forward, but we did. We had the holidays, right? I also had a death in the family, so I had to, kind of take some time off. So I do apologize for not getting to this a little bit sooner, but hey, holidays are over. It's time to get back to work, get back to thinking about catching these fish, but from everybody here at Itch to Fish, we just want to say we really hope that you had an incredible holiday season with your family, with your friends. You're able to take some time and step back from the world, step back from reality, and really be present with your family and enjoy your time with them. So whatever it is that you celebrated, I hope that you celebrated well. But it's time to catch some fish, right? It's time to get on the ice. The ice is forming upper Midwest in Canada, across the United States, and let's catch them, baby. Let's get after them. I'm in a spot right now. Oh my God, it's killing me. It's absolutely killing me. I'm in Southeast Michigan, and where it's, this time of year, it's usually, first ice you're able to get out in some of the smaller lakes and things like that. 2 freaking weeks ago, we had, all like the big main lakes, starting to lock up. We were about 2 to 3 days away from, being truly safe out there. I saw a few guys out on some of the lakes, and, I was like, okay, I'll be able to get out there in 2 to 3 days. And then right after that, guess what happened? Boom. It was 5 days straight of 50-degree weather, and screwed every single idea that I had to get out there. So we had to kind of live vicariously through Instagram and through YouTube and all of that over the last couple of weeks. But we were able to, lock down some things and lock down some reports for you guys that we're going to be talking about today. Main focus of this show is to really kind of just to plug you guys in wherever you're at. You're going to be able to kind of get some reports. We're going to be starting to dive into some more specific lakes, but right now on this one, we're going to be kind of taking a wider lens and looking at some of the more popular destinations and how they're doing, how the reports are, and in those bodies of water. And also, guys, stay tuned to the end of the show. I'm going to be highlighting one of the coolest things that I think I've ever seen in recent years, without a doubt. And it's a product that I can't wait to share with you guys. That literally blew my mind, and I can't wait to talk about it on this show. But before we do that, let's dive into some of these reports. I'm a Michigan man myself, so let's plug into the hottest destinations in Michigan. Especially this time of year, the biggest one, especially if you're chasing walleye, is always going to be the Saginaw River, the Saginaw Bay. It's just unbeatable in December, in January, sometimes in February and March as well, before the season closes. I was really planning on making an ice fishing trip there over the next week or two, but it's just, like I said, with the weather being what it was, there's no safe ice there. At all. Actually, there's no ice there. People are out fishing on boats. And so the reports there are actually, even though there's no ice yet, the people that are fishing in boats are absolutely slaying walleye. It's an 8 fish limit there per person. In some of the areas of the river, definitely check with, if you've never fished there, check with the specs on everything. The middle of the river changes from 5 to 8 at some point. So definitely be curious there and know where you're at. But majority of the river is an 8 fish limit. 8 fish limit per person. And people are getting out there getting 2, 3, 4 man limits in an hour or two on the Saginaw River right now. So it is absolutely on fire. Obviously, when you're getting that quantity or quantity of fish, obviously the quality is going to slip a little bit. So these are mostly in your eater range. The limit starts at 13 inches. So you can get out there and catch, tons of keepers. People are getting tons of throwbacks, or, out there for a few hours and having 100 fish days right now. So it's absolutely on fire. So if you've never fished the area, check in with somebody that has. Check in with a Facebook group or something that you can kind of plug into and figure out the ropes of everything. But if you're from the area, guys, get out there. If you have a boat, it's absolutely blowing people's minds how quick they're actually getting on these fish right now. So plug into that. It's a huge time of year for that. And pretty soon, guys, that's going to be locked up. That river's going to be locked up. The bay is going to be locked up, and the people without boats are going to be able to get out there and get on these same fish as well. So over the next couple weeks, I expect everything to kind of stay definitely hot. As the temperatures start to cool down, the strength and numbers will definitely die down a little bit, but there's still going to be tons of fish that you're able to get out there and catch. People are slamming fish right now on 3/8 ounce jigs with a live minnow or any type of minnow replica, soft bait, or even Rapala jigging wraps are crushing it right now as well. So guys, like I said, if you're from the area, figure out a way to get out there. It's blowing up right now. So let's kind of move around a little bit. Like I said, I'm a little biased. I'm from Michigan, so I like to kind of talk about the local reports around me. But let's dive into Lake Winnipeg. We talk about it a lot. I'm sure you've heard tons of stories, seen lots of YouTube videos of wonderful greenbacks, the giant greenbacks on Lake Winnipeg. I got a buddy out there right now. Shout out to Brett McComas. He is the chief editor of Target Walleye. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure you've seen him. But he's out there right now, and he's absolutely laying into the fish. They're going out there in those big giant snow bears where you can travel all across the lake and just say, okay, I want to fish right here, hunker down and drill a hole and drop a line and get into them. But we're seeing good quality and numbers of fish. Usually it's a big fish lake, and numbers aren't always as high. But right now we're getting a lot of good size quality eater fish, as well as the big giant greenback. Kind of mixed in there too. So really good quality numbers. So if you have a chance to get out into Lake Winnipeg, now is a great time to do it. And if you've never fished a lake before, again, this is a big one. This is a huge lake, relatively featureless. So if you're not familiar with it and you want to fish it, plug into like a guide or something, or someone that's been out there a few times, that knows the lake, knows what to do, knows where to go, because it's a giant lake. It's going to be very tough to catch these fish if you're not familiar with where you're going. But if you can get out there and you know where they're at and get on top of them, throw down a minnow rattle bait of any size or shape. Honestly, the bigger the better. Catches bigger fish, and large flutter spoons as well. Tipped with the salty is absolutely crushing it right now with the greenbacks there in Lake Winnipeg. So shout out to Brett McComas with that little update there. Target Walleye. If you're not following him on Instagram or YouTube, definitely go do that. He's bringing you guys a ton of free value, and it's free. Like I said, it's free value of how to get a little bit better and be more successful out of the water, just like we're doing here at the Itch to Fish. So shout out to him. And then I also have a few reports if we're going south down into Minnesota from Canada. We talk about the big three in Minnesota right now. Obviously this time of year, Mile Locks, Upper Red, and Lake of the Woods. And right now I'm actually getting more reports out of Upper Red, believe it or not. So I'm sure every single one of them are producing, but I've just been getting a lot more numbers from Upper Red. I don't know if that's just more accessible or what's going on there, but good numbers up in the Upper Red. If you're able to get out there, go do it. It's like I said, it's an easily accessible lake. If you've never fished it, again, get with somebody, get with a guide, get with somebody that lives out there or fished it a few times so you can get out on those hot spots. But guys, if you're getting out on those mud flats, you're getting out on those spots that are productive, that are catching fish, you're going to get out there and you're going to slam them. Leech flutter spoons from Clam are usually a big go-to out there. But really, you throw down anything and you're going to be able to catch some fish if you got the right techniques, which we talked about in previous podcasts. So get out there, guys, and crush it. If you're from that area, plug in if that's a place that you're going to travel to, and get out there. It's a great time right now in the Upper Red. That's shoot over a little bit west. Let's go down to the Dakotas. Obviously, this is most famous for it is Devil's Lake. Devil's Lake right now, crushing it in walleye. Also the big jumbo perch, big numbers of jumbo perch. Obviously it's a big lake for both. But obviously what we are actually seeing more reports for the perch than they are for the walleye, but you're able to get both of them. And that was one spot, Devil's Lake, that it's just been on my dream board for a while. I'm excited to get out there here in the next year or two and fish that lake with somebody. I'm excited. It's another big one. It's one of those ones that's pretty accessible as well. If you've never fished it, you can probably get out there and catch fish without a whole lot of knowledge. But again, I always recommend, if you're fishing a new body of water, especially in a new state or like a new area that you've never been, always check in with local bait shops, find a guide, find somebody that's fished it before and get out with them so you can get on top of fish a little bit quicker, just eliminate water that much faster. So that's killing it. We're crushing it there. So that's, like I said, those are kind of the big ones right now. What I'd like to do, over the next couple weeks is try to get some feedback from you guys on Instagram, YouTube, or wherever. Some reports, by you guys, some of the bigger lakes, so we can kind of stay dialed in on all these fish right now. And like I said at the beginning of the show, thanks for tuning in this long. Obviously, but there's something that, guys, I had to talk about. Something that I saw that I was like, man, I gotta tell my followers about this. This is one of the literally one of the coolest things I've ever seen in the industry in maybe my whole life, but at least a very long time. And I was so excited to look into it. I told myself, I got to pump the brakes. I got to kind of take a step back before I just start blasting this out to everybody. Because, when you get excited about something, I want to share it with everybody. But at this, I said I had to take a step back. I'm going to go actually check in with the company, see what they're all about before I start promoting it to you guys. Because, again, we're not going to tie our name, our personal name, to anything that's just no good. But this is the complete opposite. These guys are phenomenal company, great people, and their product is out of this world. So this is, I saw this on In-Depth Outdoors, was watching a show, and this commercial came on, and I was literally, like I said, I was floored, and I had to reach out to them. This is Cold Nation Outdoors, and what they created is called the Ice Defense. Okay, what this is you plug it into your the flasher battery, and you throw it down your hole, just like you would your transducer. And what it's going to do is it's going to make sure that your hole will never freeze over. Okay, what it does is it pulls warmer water from the lower water column and sucks it up into your hole and aerates it so it stays completely full of warmer water so it never freezes over. Guys, how many times have we been catching or trying to fish, and we're constantly kicking our hole to try to eliminate that water? And let's think about that one time when you've had an awesome fish and that water and that hole is a little bit iced up, and you brought that guy up. He took one kick to the right and another kick to the left, and what did that line do? It caught that ice just right and snapped it. Guys, this will make sure that never happens. As this is aerating your hole, it's always going to stay completely full of water and no ice. And it's awesome, guys. I had to reach out to him because I was mind blown at this idea, this concept. And I looked into it, and it's even cooler than I thought. Guys, this can stay. It'll stay this way for to all the way up to minus 50 degrees. So it can be minus 50 degrees outside, and this guy can still keep your hole completely free of ice. That's unbelievable. Obviously, you're probably not going to be outside if it's negative 50 out. But if you throw this baby down there, your hole is not going to freeze up. This will mount to any flasher or anything like that. Guys, it doesn't use a whole lot of battery. 2.4 milliamps or 2 to 4 milliamps. So, it's not really draining your battery if you're using it all day. So that's what's awesome about it. Guys, it also has variable speed. One of the cool things is that, so you can kick that speed up. Say, it's snowing like crazy. Your hole's getting all clogged with a bunch of snow. This is going to keep that continual warmer water coming into your hole and aerating it. So even if there is snow coming into the hole, it's not going to cloud it up. So it's just one of those things that it's that's a thing, that you can actually do that. Are you kidding me? But guys, it's really not. It's really not that expensive either, and that's what I was also mind blown about. It's about $100. You can get it on their website. Go follow them on Instagram at Cold Nation Outdoors. I'm sure they have a plug to their website where you can get it. You can also get it at any big retailer stores, Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, things like that. Guys, this is, I'm telling you, one of the most innovative products that I've seen in a long time, and it's going to obviously just make your job or your life that much easier. I know it does for me when I'm hole hopping around. I hate kicking that hole open, getting water all over my boots, and my boots starts to freeze, and it's going to save you so much time, so much effort, by just keeping this thing going. So plug into these guys, Cold Nation Outdoors, leverage the power of ThermoFlow, and use this ice defense, guys. I'm telling you, it's one of the coolest things that you've ever seen. Go check them out for yourself. Obviously, we're going to promote some stuff that we see that we like. And if the company's pretty great as well, we're going to talk about it, but definitely get out there and check for yourself. But this is something that I'm telling you, you're going to want. You're definitely going to want it. So, like I said, go follow them, Cold Nation Outdoors. Watch their little clip on In-Depth Outdoors and see for yourself. I mean, this thing is literally legendary. So, shout out, hats off to Cold Nation Outdoors. It's hard to find new things and keep innovating this space and keep this thing going to where you're finding new ideas, new things that work, and they've done it. So, congratulations to them. I can't wait to get this thing going and trying it when I do have ice out here in Michigan. But, guys, that's really all I got for you. This is kind of a little bit longer one that we have, but it's important. We're checking into these reports. Again, if you have reports from your local lakes and you want to share with them, please let me know. Happy to give you a shout out for your time and effort there. But we want to keep you guys plugged in, keep you guys on top of these fish, what they're doing, what their movements are, what the patterns are, so we can stay on top of them and be more successful out there. So that's really all I got for you guys today. This is Travis from the Itch to Fish. Whether it's the morning, the evening, whatever time you're listening, I hope you're having a good day, a good evening, a good night. And that's all I got for you guys. So tight lines, everybody. Let's stay successful out there.